This is Colin O'Keefe here for LXBN TV. With the new year upon us, it's good to look back on what 2014 meant in a number of areas of law, and also what 2015 holds as far as trends going into the new year. Today, in that area, we're taking a look at workplace class actions. My guest today is Jerry Maatman. He is one of the leading lawyers in the country in this area. He's author on the Workplace Class Actions blog and also a partner at Seyfarth Shaw, which just released its 11th annual Workplace Class Action Litigation Report. Jerry, let's dive into it and start by looking back at the previous year. What stood out to you in 2014 as far as workplace class action litigation? I know you were involved in a number of different things, but what really caught your attention? What were the big moments of 2014?
Thank you, Colin. I think there were various things that are important for employers. One of the key takeaways was what happened with respect to settlement of class actions. Settlement numbers were down with employment discrimination and government enforcement actions, but ERISA class actions were 10 times greater than they were the year before. They were over $1.3 billion. So that's a headline that all employers should take a look at. And coupled with a Supreme Court case involving ERISA, I think in 2015 we're going to see more ERISA class actions. Success typically begets copycats, and so I think there are going to be more ERISA class actions filed as a result of those big settlement numbers. I think one of the other takeaways was the volume of wage and hour litigation. It was up. Again, the crest of the wave we have yet to see, and I think in 2015 there'll be even more wage and hour class actions. And I think a manifestation of that is the low barriers for entry for bringing those cases for plaintiffs' class action lawyers. They can certify those cases without spending money on an expert, unlike employment discrimination class actions. And this year, new in our 11th version of the class action report, we did a tracking map where we showed the success or failure of plaintiffs' lawyers seeking certification in wage and hour cases. And our findings were that in the conditional first stage certification motions, plaintiffs won 70% of the motions, and in the second stage decertification, employers won 48% of the time. Plaintiffs' lawyers 52% of the time. In essence, once discovery was done, a good 20% of the cases that had been initially certified were decertified. And so I think you're going to see more wage and hour cases being brought, especially because it's a low investment proposition for plaintiffs' lawyers to be able to certify those cases without an expert. So like investing in the stock market, low risk, low cost, good returns.
And then, second, as we head into the new year, you've mentioned some key trends there, but, what else stands out to you for what we should be keeping an eye on in 2015? I know there are some important cases and some important trends, but, what's on your mind as we head into the new year?
Well, I think what's on my mind and what I hear from clients and general counsel and HR managers is the government, the Department of Labor and the EEOC. Lots of activity, but very, very low settlement numbers. In fact, the lowest since 2006 in government enforcement litigation. And I think the agencies were super aggressive, litigating issues on the outside of the legal envelope, and perhaps now will dial back a little, go to their bread and butter type cases, litigate those cases aggressively and try and increase the yield from their cases. So I would expect to see bigger cases, solid cases, and the government making efforts to try and increase their recoveries as compared to 2014 when they were at their lowest level since 2006. So expect a lot of activity from government enforcement litigators in 2015.
Absolutely, and of course, there are a number of different new regulations that are going into place in 2015 across the country. So, again, it would be interesting to see how the government enforces those going forward. Once again, that was Jerry Maatman of Seyfarth Shaw. To download the full report, you can find it at workplaceclassaction.com. Be sure to check it out. They put a lot of great work into this. And you can find it again at workplaceclassaction.com. Thanks again, Jerry.
Thank you.